Hey guys, Damon here with your E3 live show. I'm not gonna lie, this show is probably the most important thing you'll see in your lifetime. Or maybe not, I don't really know. Anyway, a certain Mr. Cooper has decided to pay us a visit right now. Time to say hello to Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time.
As I live and breathe, Matt, Glenn, Xantaru Games.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming.
It's great to be here,
Awesome
Greg.
to be here.
You know, about a year ago, you popped up on this very live show talking about this Sly Cooper game. You didn't have much to show. He was back. That was the big deal.
Yeah.
Coming to the PS3. Now you got a whole bunch of crazy crap content to go, look at this thing. What's happening?
That is the England hub.
Yeah?
So what you see there is Sir Gareth Cooper, and this for the first time we're showing off the England hub. We showed PAX last year. We showed the Japan hub.
Okay. How do hubs work in Sly Cooper Thieves in Time?
Well, you know, like we kind of take that sort of hub and spoke kind of structure, so the hubs are central to the episode. And from there, you're going to encounter all these sort of missions that will come off it. But again, you know, it's the PlayStation 3. You've got a lot more room to work with. There's a lot more to explore. I mean, everything you can see here, you can go explore.
Time
There's
to
treasures
complete
be found,
this quest.
lots and lots of collectibles. There's all kinds of missions within there for all the different characters. So just a lot of variety in hubs.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, has anyone told you the game looks really good? It's very pretty. It looks like a
You know,
Pixar movie.
we've been doing demos all day yesterday
Yeah.
and then today, and I'll tell you the best comment that we can get is people picking it up and playing it and saying, you know what, this feels like Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
It looks like what I would expect it to play like on the PS3 and
Sure.
the Vita, and that's the best thing that we could hear.
Now,
So-
a couple weeks ago, that was the big announcement, right? That it's coming to Vita as well. Not only coming to Vita, content, there it is. Well, don't shake it that hard.
There it is. Look at it.
Same kind of content, little bit of Vita controls mixed
Yep.
in, but then same trophy set, saves cross-play back and forth.
You just want the trophies. You're a trophy
You're
whore.
damn, I won't lie, I was a bit disappointed when I found out the trophies sunk back and forth. I want two
You
separate
wanted
trophy
two
lists.
separate ones. Well, let
A
me
double
tell you,
plat.
the trophies in Sly Cooper Thieves in Time are going to be much more difficult than in the collection.
That was a bad
You're
idea.
going to make them work for
The
it.
collection was it was great for trophies. Everybody loves it.
Well, because Sly 1 was an easy platinum.
Sure.
3 was definitely the
Yeah,
hardest
three.
one out of the.
Then the mini games
group.
just giving me those golds. It felt
Well,
so
these
good.
are going to be a lot more difficult, and they're going to be more gameplay oriented. So, for example, you can have one that would be like stealth takedown, 10 guys in
Yeah.
30 seconds and don't get caught.
Okay.
It just adds a lot more gameplay.
Nice. I mean, that's what the whole point of trophies are, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you guys as developers enjoy stuff like that?
Matt
He
loves
doesn't.
being evil. He's like, oh, you can't wait to see this one. He writes it up. I'm like, oh man. But I think that's the cool thing about the Vita. I mean, maybe, you're at home and you're on the couch and you're playing like through the story mode, but the next day you're at lunch and hey, you want to go and work on that one trophy,
Right.
I know that if I do this umpteen
Yeah.
100 times, I'm going to get there. And so that's where, you can pick up the Vita and sort of, play it differently depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
So for E3, you're showing off the hub world here in England.
Yep.
What else you got? What's the other content you got?
We have some mini games that we're going to show,
Okay.
and we're also talking about a bunch of collectibles. So in the old Sly Cooper games, we had the bottles that you collect. You have 30 bottles in every hub, and then once you collect those 30 bottles, you can open up the safe. So we have the same thing. We have 30 bottles. Yes, they're finally back. You get to open up the safe, and you'll get a permanent upgrade for every character. So that means if you're playing as Sly, Bentley, Murray, that item in the safe will affect everybody.
Gotcha.
We also have the treasures. The treasures are back from Sly 2. You toss them on your back. You got a limited amount of time to take them back to your hideout. If you get damaged, you lose the treasure. Once you bring the treasures back to your hideout, you can look at them. You can pull them up.
I like looking at things.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little trophy.
Yeah.
And there's a little metagame structure there. If you collect all of the treasures, you unlock something else. We're not talking about it today, but it's pretty damn cool.
Knowing you guys, it's a teaser for some other game you're working on that you haven't told anybody about.
And we had another really cool
Maybe.
international contest where we actually had, we've gotten thousands of entries actually for people to design their own treasure. And
Yeah.
those are actually going to be featured in the game this fall.
All right, so now this is a mini game.
Yeah, so this is a mini game. We call this game Alter Ego
Okay.
because if Bentley was to create himself in the computer world, of course he'd look like Rambo. The other cool thing here is that we're playing it with 2 people. Now you see the little bits, those little yellow bits. You pick up 5 bits, it levels you up, and your firepower gets increased.
Okay.
You can go to a maximum of up to level 10. If you get damaged, it downgrades you. So maybe a trophy for getting through without
see,
upgrading
now
would
there
be
you go.
kind of cool.
See, and this is the perfect kind of thing, right? We talk about bringing two different experiences in the same game to two different devices.
Yeah.
Obviously, when I'm at home on my big screen, I want to see Sly's story and get involved in it. But like you were saying, if I'm at lunch, sure, I just want to play something on the bus. Maybe a quick mini game feel like this is pretty cool.
And you totally, you're sharing the same health, so you win together, you die together. And it's got that great kind of...
That's why I never play with Glenn.
yeah, it's got that couch
hogs
battle
off.
where you're like, dude, dude!
We have another collectible, a third one, which is called a Secret Sly mask. Now there is a set number of those masks, and they're hidden everywhere in the game. They are very, very difficult to get.
Okay.
So an example of one of them would be, you're playing one of these alter ego games. There's an invisible box. You keep shooting the invisible box, whoop, you get a little warp hole that brings you to another place with a little secret mask.
Okay.
And that's something I really love. I love those old school negative worlds.
Right.
I like the pause in the game blaster master getting the infinite damage, 8-bit NES style. And I want to see more of that stuff. So you can expect all that kind of classic gameplay, in Sly Cooper Thieves in Time.
It's funny you talk about that, wanting to bring something back that you loved in the past. That's what Sly is to you too, right? Like that. You guys, we've talked about it before on IGN. You guys just one day were like, we'd like to work on a Sly game, so you made a Sly demo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we actually, got ourselves a PlayStation 3. We actually put together a demo. I think it took us about 6 weeks or so. We're really busting out there. And then we went in and just did a pitch. I mean, it was totally, not quite a cold call, but it was pretty close. And and just stuck it in front of them. And, they were like...
The thing with the demo was we didn't have a lot of time on it, and we picked some set criteria to have in the demo. One, does it look like Sly Cooper on the PS3?
Yeah.
Does the environment look like Sly Cooper on the PS3? And then we picked a handful of contextuals. We did the spire move, the pole, and is that it? I think just those two. And the rail run. And we really, really worked on those and polished them up the best we could. Brought Sony over, Glenn did an amazing little spiel.
That's pretty amazing.
And then we're like, hey, we got a demo. So.
Had they already thought of doing the collection and stuff then, and a Sly 4, or
I don't really know. I mean, but I think that it definitely inspired them.
Sure.
And
you get to take credit for all this.
Yes, it was all our master plan.
I'll tell you a funny story about the demo and just showing the game with Sucker Punch. The last year we showed the game for the first time, the El Huffy boss battle. We had this big room of all this media. I'm like sweating bullets. I'm like, man, I hope they really like this thing. And we go into the practice to show the game, and our Sony producers come on over and they're like, the Sucker Punch guys are outside and they want to hear your spiel. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be tough. And we went through the whole...
Sucker Punch, of course, created the original.
Yeah.
Created the whole trilogy, created Sly.
And they came in, we did the spiel to them, and they loved it.
And Nate Fox took a drag off his cigar.
Yeah, the SP guys are great, and they come down and they see the game, and I always tell them, good feedback is bad feedback. Bad feedback is good feedback.
Yeah.
Because we want to know the bad things.
Sure.
Does it feel like slidey? Are you getting stuck? Is it that core experience? And those guys are the experts.
And they're super great with it. They played the experience and then they're like, wow. You know what? I don't want to play anymore because I actually want to wait until it's finished because I want to find out what happens. I want to experience this game, for the first time almost. So, they drill down, they give us some super cool feedback, and then they're like, I really want to play this. This would be cool.
Sounds great. So, for people who are seeing it for the first time because they're crazy and they've never watched IGN for some reason, what is the story here? You're in England, but you're also lost in time?
So essentially, we pick up Sly Cooper Thieves in Time where Sly 3 left off. Sly is feigning amnesia, he's with Carmelita. Murray took off to race monster trucks, and Bentley settled down with Penelope to build a time machine. But Bentley sees that the Thievius Raccoonus, the tome of all Cooper clan knowledge, is changing. The pages are disappearing.
Gotcha.
Something's obviously messing, with the timeline, and so they're going to get the gang back together again to take off through time to essentially restore the legacy.
The other cool thing with going back in time and seeing these ancestors is they each have their own unique personality. You may meet an ancestor that's a little smitten with Miss Carmelita, and Sly may get a little jealous.
All right.
So we really play up those emotions and those personalities.
All right, don't tell me anymore. I want to play it myself.
Oh, what
When's
about
it
the
come
final
out?
boss?
Stop it!
Do you want to know?
Stop.
No? Okay.
When's it coming out?
Fall 2012 on PlayStation 3 and Vita.
Great. Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Damon, you're my raccoon. Back to you.
Thanks, guys. Okay, we've already seen a ton of games, but that doesn't mean we're slowing down. Our next game is a really unique title that's about, I think you just need to see it. Fans of artistic games won't want to miss The Unfinished Swan.